minute, don't know. Got a minute of your time. Got a minute of your. Hush, I'm gonna live right, and I'm never gonna let you out of my sight. I've been knocked out, was a nice try, but I guess I get to keep my head on this time. Part of the creation, the relations I've got, the only one that keeps me safe, the only one you should trust. For sure, it ain't right that I have checked the speck of dust from all of its side. Fall down, that from my height, cause I didn't see the plank I have in my eye. And you said when no one's to be found, what keeps you eased out, what takes you off your mind.
Yes, you want this, I want this. Everybody in this, we should have it. Stop illusions, it's in your hands. Show yourself, reveal it to them. Take the time to recognize it. You won't leave me.
100%. Hi, everybody. Welcome to our podcast, From Vision to Success.
From vision to success.
Where there's no vision, the people perish.
What? Ooh. Oh. Yeah.
Anyway, and I shouldn't have looked away. I should have known better. He's upset still because of what happened last week.
I am pretty upset. And the person I'm most upset about is Mike.
Okay, if you did not catch our podcast, you need to catch up with the drama that we had. You know that he made some comments to his wife where I was like, you said what? And we were talking for a solid 2 weeks about this, and he felt like he was on the right. So what did we do? We called Tegan.
Yeah.
And she set the record straight. So if you're wondering, go back and check that out. It was the best podcast we've ever done.
And I think that we should call Mike today.
I know, he told me, I was like, sure. I know Mike. Well, I'm debating whether he'll throw me under the bus because of some of the things that I say. Or
I'm hoping he does. I am truly hoping, because I got annihilated last week, and
I don't know what you expected. Like,
I know, but hang on one second, because and then here's the worst part though, right? Is that I went to go, so that hurt, like everything, right? What Mike said, what Mike didn't say. Everything.
That's what Mike didn't say that.
And then we went to a workshop on Tuesday.
Yes.
And I picked you up and I dropped you off. And then I go inside. We're talking with Mike. And then Mike, if you're listening, screw you. And then he's like, yeah, that apology didn't sound sincere at all. And I'm like, what the heck?
Did you apologize better?
No, because I thought it was genuine.
It's not okay. We need to. You know what we should do? We should do a replay of what happened.
I'm gonna call Tegan.
No, don't do it right now.
I'm not going to call Tegan.
Let's digest right now. Or you know what we should do? We should call Mike and ask him with regards to the apology. And then maybe he can give you some pointers.
Let's call Mike. Mike, if you're... Text Mike right now. And then
okay,
I have the phone set up to the board.
Okay, let me text
So if he's ready and willing to get chewed online, because I am going to chew him out. If he's ready and willing to... this is not cool.
Hold on. Are you free for a call for the podcast? Okay, text has been sent.
And hang on one second. I just want to point something out. You're giving him a heads up. I just called Tegan.
Well, because he might be in a meeting. We could call him right now.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Call. Why don't you call him?
I am gonna call.
So we're getting some juicy details. Oh, he says yes. He's game.
Mike. Bunt.
He has an iPhone now, right?
Does he really?
Yeah, he does.
Oh,
he
yeah,
made
he does.
the switch.
Here's all the blues. Yeah, a long time ago.
No, just
now.
now.
This is Maria. My bad. Hey, it's
so something that you need to know about Miguel is that he sucks at texting. Even him using his query board, he's like, just kidding.
Okay, ready? We should be hearing the call coming in here.
I don't hear anything.
I know it's coming. Hello?
I don't hear anything.
Mike? Hang on.
Okay, Sugar, just so you know, you're on air. You're on air.
Yeah, it should. I did a test run. Hang on one second. Hello, Sugar?
Yeah.
Oh.
Why isn't this coming through? Hang on one second. Yeah, it's oh. Hang on.
Just put it against the phone.
Yeah. Can you hear?
Yeah, I can hear you guys. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. For some reason, it wasn't coming through.
Oh, okay.
So just so you know, babe,
Yeah, babe.
Miguel
Are you
has
ready,
been
bro?
very upset with what
Oh, I
happened
know.
last week.
Yeah, I am. I'm not impressed with you, dude. There's a couple of reasons why. Number one, you picked Maria over me. First of all,
And we were all shocked.
hang on, and we were all shocked. And first of all, after everything that we've been through, you still picked Maria. But that's okay though, right? That's okay. I kind of like don't understand, but I'm willing to let it go. And then on Tuesday, you flat out, not even behind my back, which I probably would appreciate it even more, to my face, you were like, yeah, that didn't sound like a sincere apology. So I'm here to call you out. So
Okay.
what is how would you apologize moving forward with everything and anything? Like, how would you have, if you were in my situation, how would you apologize?
Mike is like, first of all, I would never be in your situation.
That's not true.
All right.
That's not true. Well, okay, so with Maria, I have to do a 2-stage apology.
Oh.
I have to do an initial apology in the moment when she's angry, even though I know she's not ready to accept it, which was good. That was your first apology, so good job. You gotta apologize in the moment.
Don't patronize me. Hang on.
No, I'm
Good
serious.
boy.
I'm being serious. I do too. Like, I have to apologize in the moment when Maria's angry, even though she won't accept it, and she'll still be mean and say things to hurt my feelings.
Maria
Babe.
mean? Oh, what are you talking about?
Like, you don't mean it. You're just saying it because I am upset. Blah blah blah. But if I don't, I get in trouble later for not apologizing in the moment and being accused of saying I don't care. So I gotta apologize in that moment. Then it's all based on Maria and how quickly she kind of burns off the Latina in her.
Sometimes it's a fast fizzle. Sometimes it's a slow burn.
Yeah, sometimes that initial apology, if you know, it'll burn off pretty quick, and I can see that the fire has dimmed, and I can apologize again and make sure she knows I'm being sincere. Sometimes though, it takes a day or two before she's ready for that. Sometimes it's a long, slow burn, and I have to wait until she's ready.
Until the fire's out?
Yeah, until she comes to me and goes, "Are we still fighting?" And I'm like, in the back of my mind, I'm like, I've just been here waiting. I wasn't fighting at all.
Okay. So what part of my apology last week did not sound sincere? And this is where I want you to call me out.
You know what we should do? We should do a 3-way call after with Tate.
Oh, that's not happening. That is not.
Please, we'll do a 3-way call.
No.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm good at just putting you on the spot this week. But so what part of, because I thought I was being sincere, but apparently I wasn't. So what would I have done different with Tegan particularly? And to make it.
The second full apology needs to be more detailed. You need to talk about that you recognize the error, that you take responsibility, that you want to make any restitution if there's anything you can do to fix it. You promise not to do better and to try not to do it again.
All right, dude, you're cutting off. I have to let you go.
Guys, that's why this man is incredible, right? Like, my husband, oh my gosh. I always tell him I'd be divorced had I not married him. 100%.
Maria sends me resources on how to apologize better, and then I use them, and then she gets upset saying, "Stop trying to
Stop trying to use tools on me." Yeah.
Stop using these tools I sent you to apologize to me.
Ladies, if you're out there, share resources with your significant other so they know.
And then get mad at them for using those resources.
Yes.
It's okay. It'll be like a fast burn because then you'll appreciate it.
Okay. So go into detail, recognize where I made my mistakes.
Let's do a dry run. Why don't you go for it right now?
Okay.
And then Mike can rate it. Babe, rate it.
Jason Palmer actually gave me the 5 steps, the 5.
What? Jason Palmer? We should call Jason
We should
Palmer.
call Jason Palmer next.
He gave you the 5 steps? I thought it was me. There was like a...
That was the 5 love languages.
The 5 languages of apology.
5 love languages.
Okay.
he looked into apologizing
way-
and found that there was 5 things to apologize as well. And so I can't remember what he called it. But then when I talked to Jason Palmer about it, he's like, oh, that sounds similar to this study where it said, like, it's not just that one of those 5 may, like, mean more to the person you're apologizing to. It's that you should do all 5 as part of your apology.
See, this is where it starts to get complicated with me, right? There's all these steps,
just-
the 5 languages steps of love, and then
You
pointing out the 5 steps.
Can I remind you that your line of work is giving people steps to
I
do things?
know, I know, but now there's 3 processes, and every process has like 7 steps to follow. Like that's 21 steps that I have to remember just to say sorry. Why can't you just hear me?
Why can't you
I'm
just accept
sorry,
my apology?
and then accept my apology, and let's move on. Like,
Yeah, Tegan, check your energy.
okay, bye. Okay, talk to you later. Love you. That's getting too much. Bye.
Are you seriously gonna hang
Yeah,
up?
I hang up
All right,
with-
love you. Bye.
It's too much. This is too much.
So here you heard it.
Okay, Mike. So I love you still, kind of. Maybe not. I don't know. It depends what you buy me for Christmas. But I do. This is okay. So here's the thing, is right, and I think this is a good segue into what we're actually talking about this week, which is using I statements.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a situation.
Another one? Tell me.
No. I am never. Oh, heavens forbids. I am never bringing personal things into this podcast ever again. Ready? So there was a situation that happened a while ago with this family.
Okay.
And this family is not me and Tegan.
You're like this family that has 7 kids. Just
Yeah, no, but he asked something of her,
Okay.
and I don't want to give too much because like I don't want
No problem.
if they're watching, I don't want them thinking that I'm talking about them, right? Because I do want to respect their privacy. But he requested something of her, and she was like, "Well, why? You're not even going to use this requested list, like this thing, right? And then you didn't do it last year. Why am I going to give you like a honey-do list kind of thing, right? Like, why am I going to give you a list if you didn't do it last year, you know, whatever?" And so there was a little bit of room for contention there. And then he fought back, and then she fought back, and then they were like, they're arguing back and forth and da-da-da. And so in counseling with him, I'm like, I get it, because I probably would have done the exact same thing. So definitely don't do what I do, but do what I say. And do what I say is...
Everybody has room for improvement, yourself included. Maybe that's why you are in the line of work that you're in.
Can we move on?
Heavenly Father was like, listen, Miguel, if you're not in this line of work, your life is going to like combust into fire.
Can we move on from my life? Like, we've established that this is a dysfunctional family. Let's move on to another family, right? Ready? Okay. Here we go. I'm going to bring Mike back in here. And so what I told this guy, I was like, she's probably still hurt. For us, it was just a list. It was like, who cares? Like, whatever, right? The nail, right? It's just like, who cares? But for her, the list was important, and the list didn't get done. Mm-hmm. And so I go, so instead of fighting back, just be like, I'm sorry. I understand. I do recognize that I didn't use the list, or I didn't do the things on the list. I'm a new person. I'm in a better headspace now. Can you give me a new list this year or this time around, right? Mm-hmm. And that would have calmed her fire down, mm-hmm. right? And then they wouldn't have gone to this contention kind of thing. So
you get it? You get why you need to apologize?
No, I do. I did, man. I did. But this is the thing:
that's level 1. You got to go in level 2.
But how many levels do you need?
Just 2.
No, according to Mike, there's 27 steps.
There's no 27 steps. He was giving you the formula for the second apology.
How many apologies do I need? Like if I screw up and I'm like, I'm sorry, I did not mean to do what I did. I feel like it's depending on the person, right? But okay, you're sorry, but are you recognizing what you did? Or if you're not sure what you did, are you asking for clarification with regards to that? And then are you putting yourself in the lens of the other person? At some point, it's got to be the other person's fault. I'm sorry. Listen, if I'm putting myself out there and it's a genuine apology, I screwed up, I messed up, I'm not doing it again. And I promise to be better next time. And they require.
But that's not what you said.
I did say. I said I am so sorry. Let's rewind.
Okay, we should totally watch it.
We should.
I'm pretty sure you just said, "Hey, take it. Don't say anything." Okay. Sorry. Sorry. What is that? Like, sorry about what I said.
You didn't even know.
Okay.
No, I don't want to look it up.
It was like a quick 3 words, and she was like, okay. And you're like, okay, bye.
I'm gonna look it up. But I have a little so this one proclaims that she knows
No,
she's
listen.
the queen of understanding.
No, I am not.
And
I have
people reading
conflict.
and-
First of all, I have a lot of conflict in my life sometimes.
Yeah.
I do have conflict in my life. I am not the queen of anything, but I am pretty good at apologizing, I feel like. I'm quick to apologize most of the time.
That's not true. You haven't apologized to me from last week.
For what? What did I do?
Are you kidding me?
Which one?
It's an hour recording of how like you publicly humiliated me.
Who brought it up? We were going to discuss something else, and you were like, you're the one that brought it up, and then you're the one that like said, let's call pagan. So
anyways.
okay, so I'm sorry for...
That doesn't sound legit. That doesn't sound genuine. But I do have a test for you.
Okay, let's do it.
So these are 5 scenarios.
Okay.
How would you use I statements in these 5 scenarios? So I try to come up with maybe some of our viewers struggle with.
Okay.
And
Some relatable scenario.
relatable scenarios, right? And there's, again, 5 case scenarios. And how would you use, or categories, and how would you use I statements in this?
Okay.
So let's say you and I are arguing.
Okay.
And I want to express how I'm feeling. Or how I'm...
You're expressing how you're feeling
Like,
to
yeah,
me, and
yeah.
I'm upset?
Yeah, because you've made me upset.
Okay.
And I want to express... No, you're... Yeah, expressing feelings, just general feelings. And you're having a conversation with a person, how would you express your frustrations to that person?
If they've done something and I'm upset?
Yeah.
Okay. How would I do it?
Yeah, how would you do it?
This is what I would say. I'd be like, hey, listen, I may not
First
have...
of all,
No, I'd be like...
hey, listen.
No, I wouldn't say it that way. Because I've had difficult conversations with people with regards to like things that have happened that have upset me.
Okay.
So the way that I started it, it was like, hey, I wanted to talk to you about something and the way that I've been feeling. I recognize that I may not have all the facts and I may not fully understand the way that you intended it, but this is what happened and this is how I felt about it. So I'm just hoping that we can talk about it, that we can clear it out, and then we can work through it. But keep in mind, that's me in the right headspace per se. If I'm also upset, then the conversation would be a little bit different.
So
what does Mike say? Is that Mike?
So Mike is saying, Maria always asks me, what are you sorry for? So you...
I do. Because I'm like, so many times people apologize, but they don't even know what they're apologizing for. I feel like if you just say sorry, it can come across as just like trying to appease the situation when you're not even sure.
And that's a bad thing.
Yes. I think when you apologize, you need to be clear about what you're apologizing. Like if I'm apologizing to you, I'm going to be like, hey, I'm sorry for doing X, Y, Z. I recognize that it came across this way, and and then I would say I'm sorry for the feelings that it created.
Okay.
Or how my actions made you feel. That was not my intention, but I would say something along the lines of that. But if I just go a generic sorry, oh sorry.
No, I agree
or like,
with.
oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. And then I have no idea. And then if you don't know what you're apologizing for, then you're gonna do it again. You're gonna mess up again.
Okay, that I agree. So Jimmy says this hole is getting deeper for Miguel. Yes, it is. Yes, it is, Jimmy. Yes, it is.
I know you're trying to like come out of it, but Miguel, come on.
Yes, it is. This is getting way too deeper. Yeah, and Mike says this is why Maria is an expert.
Oh my gosh, at apologizing, yes.
How would you express yourself for requesting change in a relationship or whoever you're talking to?
How would I express myself?
Yeah.
Okay, so
using I statements.
this is what I did. So I have a friend of mine. We're really close, and there was I had a conflict. And I think you and I had discussed this. Anyway, so over the summer, I had a conflict with someone. And my really good friend, it hurt my feelings that when the conflict was happening, it seemed as if she took the other person's side. As if it was like, oh, but they're so nice and they're working through. And it was like a very compassionate response. I get it. But if I'm in my feels and I'm upset about something, I'm going to get more upset if you're like, but they're so nice. I don't care that they're nice. Anyway. That's a little bit of me, really, how I am. Listen, that is me. But anyway, at that point, I already had my feelings going on. I was like, hey, listen, I wanted to say something, just moving forward. This is what happened, and this is how it made me feel. I would just appreciate it that if next time, if you notice that I am in my feels, and I did use a you statement at that point. I don't know if that was the right decision, but I was like, I would appreciate it next time when I'm in my feels if you would be mindful of the things that you say, because I did find that you probably didn't mean it that way, but my feelings did get hurt when you said this when I was feeling like this.
How did she react? Because I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, so she was very apologetic. She got it right away.
Really?
Yeah.
I would have stopped talking to you.
Yeah. Okay. That you wouldn't.
I hate being called out. I got called out one time.
For what? For hurting feelings?
Right before a dinner. It was
Oh, but listen, if we're having this conversation, I'm not gonna do it in front of everybody, because I know one of your pet peeves is being called out in front of people. Right. So for the most part, I would never call anybody out in front of people, especially if they're a friend. Now, if you're doing something to me and you're calling me out, or you're going out of your way to make me feel uncomfortable, and we are in front of people, then I will react in front of people.
like last week's podcast.
What happened last week?
When you called me out in front of everybody.
I did not. You were the one.
Anyways, part 2.
I remember not on Tuesday, at some point we were talking. And you were telling me a story, and then you took me on a journey, and I was like, Miguel, I don't need to know the journey. Get back to the story.
It was Friday's podcast. To come follow me.
Right before it, he was telling me a story, and then he stopped to take me on the journey.
It wasn't. It wasn't to stop to take you on a journey. Let's get one thing clear.
Oh, you 100% took me on a journey.
It was. I needed to set the scene
of
so it can make sense. Everything that I was about to tell you.
Of tables being flipped over. I needed to know that.
Tables being flipped over.
Yeah, because you were prepping for your activity.
Oh, the shooting one. Yeah. We played Nerf war games.
Yeah.
That was pretty good. Okay. Resolving conflict.
Okay.
How would you use an I statement in that?
Resolving, like
Yeah.
we're having some type of conflict.
You and I are arguing. We're going toe to toe. And how would you want to resolve the conflict that we have using an I statement?
So I tried. So I'll give you an example of what I did when I had conflict with someone. I ran into them in the bathroom, and then
or you chased them in the bathroom.
No. It just happened to be that like we just ran into each other in the bathroom.
Yeah.
And I said, "Hey, I sense that there is something going on here. I just kind of want to know if there's anything that I've done or what kind of feelings I created so we can work through them." But anyway, the person wasn't ready and she dismissed me quite quickly, right? But I think if we're going toe to toe and we're arguing, I'm going to first apologize for my actions.
Okay.
And then I'm going to seek resolution.
But not for the situation.
Because there's two people, right?
No. But you said that saying sorry when you don't know what you're saying for.
Well, I would apologize for my actions in what seems to be upsetting the situation. Like the other story that I have shared many times on here, where we were in a meeting, I upset at someone based on a comment that I had made, and then the person started saying, "You don't understand, and I'm not you, and you kind of thing." And I was trying to come back from that by saying that's not the way that I meant it. And I recognized at that point that it didn't matter what I said. What mattered was how he felt about the situation.
Oh, yeah.
So at that point, when we had conflict, I came up to the person after and I apologized. And after I apologized, I felt that his energy,
Headspace?
his headspace, no, what is it called? Like walls came down, right?
Yeah.
And then he kind of gave me some insight of why he was feeling the way that he was feeling, and he had that reaction that he did. And at that point, I apologized again because my intention was not to create those feelings in him, and then we worked it through, right? But I always feel like apologizing for your part in it plays.
So what? But what if you don't know what you've done wrong? Like for example, last week, right? I didn't think I did anything wrong. The way that I spoke to Tegan.
Okay.
And I know we're not going back into this.
He calls me out for saying that I keep bringing this up.
I don't want to. No, but I know. Hang on. But I'm curious.
He's like, I don't want anybody commenting on.
No, yeah. I don't want to see comments flying, like whatever coming in. So we're done with the subject. We figured it out. I was wrong. Horrible person. Bad Miguel. I get it. But how would you? Because a lot of what you're saying is a person who's extremely self-aware of their of just the process of communication. So for me, I genuinely wanted to know if I had made a mistake or not, right?
Yeah, so you did the right thing. You called and you asked.
But that's me and that's you. But what about a person that's going head to head with someone that's not in the right headspace, that's not fully aware or not set in and they're more focused on convincing the other person who's right or wrong.
Okay, so what would you do at that point?
Yeah, like how would you be able to break that habit and go into a night?
So you need to walk away. At that point, you need to say, "Hey, I'm not." You need to. Okay, first is you need to realize where you're at, and you know how you said last week that you can't fight fire with fire.
Yeah.
Well, somebody needs to cool down. So you have to make that decision that cooling down is going to be you. You can't force anybody else to do anything. You can't force anybody to apologize. You can't force anybody to apologize to you. You also have to realize, do you value the relationship more than being right? Because there's either you value being right more or you value the relationship more.
I tell my kids that all the time. It's more important to be respectful than it is to be right.
Yeah, so you have to, and I think this is where figuring out your values is important, because if you value the relationship that you have, like for my friend who I had this difficult conversation with, I value her friendship way more. I could have bunkered down and just wanted to be right and said, you know what, you're not a supportive friend because here I am struggling. You know the struggles that I've had with this person, and yet here you are telling me all these nice things about this person. Like, what kind of friend are you? I could have bunkered down and said that.
Yeah.
But instead, I chose to focus on the overall.
That's how I would do it.
What? Anyway.
Person A, you never listen to me.
Okay. I don't know what you're doing. He's playing with the microphone. He's done with me talking.
No,
That's
I'm
what
not.
happens when I'm talking. This is what he does. Yeah. And then he changes the subject.
I don't. I'm listening to everything you're saying. Just my mind was, why didn't the Bluetooth was working? So as you were talking, I was thinking about the Bluetooth.
So you didn't hear anything. That's okay.
But I did hear everything.
As long as you heard.
I heard what you said. You said that you just need to walk away. Because if at that point you value being correct, then there's no way that relationship or even that argument is going to progress. Because if that person is of literally the exact same mindset, you're just going to be bumping heads like the entire day, the entire night.
Yeah.
So at some point, one person has to take point and just be like, okay, you know what? Not in the right headspace. Let's move on.
Yeah, or just be like, let me cool down. I want to have this conversation with you, but I need to be in a better headspace.
Which is what I did last time. But anyways. And apparently I was wrong for doing that. So
listen, you needed to be in a better headspace.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
you pointed out that Tegan needed to be in a better headspace.
I pointed out the wrong person. Yeah, I get it. And I think that's a valuable lesson when it comes to I statements, right?
Yeah.
That it's all about you and it's all about what you can do to resolve that conflict. So going back to why we're doing all of this, the segments in the series, it's about good communications with your loved ones, right?
Yeah.
Parents to child, partners to each other, and youth to parents. And this is one of the steps, is learning how to use I statements. So when you are in conflict with any form of relationship, boss to employee, employee to boss, peer, co-workers, relationships, lovers, whoever it is out there, the minute you get into a conflict and you stop and all you're focusing on is the person and what they've done wrong, it's a really hard.
It's a slippery slope.
It is, and with that scripture, right? I can see the smote on your eye, but not the beam in mine.
Mm-hmm.
Right, something like that.
Yeah, it's like always we over focus on like what the other person did wrong as opposed to actually seeing, because we always have a part to play.
Yeah.
In the conflict that we have, we always do, and it's important. Well, it's important as you recognize that, because I do feel like there are some friendships or relationships that is hard to come back from if you have a major conflict. And it's because it takes two people, right?
Yeah.
And at that point, there is a type of friendship. Not in the sense where it's I don't know. For me, with Mike, I am never divorcing him. You know, I'm like, listen. I tell him, like, how does it feel to be married to me forever? He's like, are you threatening me?
I would have loved to have been time and all eternity for Mike, but then he did me wrong last week, and so
you're done.
We're officially divorced. Mike and I are no longer we're
kindred spirits.
Yeah, we're no longer shipping.
Oh my gosh.
You know the shipping, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we would.
The new generation language.
Michael. We would have been Michael.
And you're no longer that.
We're no longer Michael. We would have been Mart Bunts.
Oh my God.
Buntinas.
Buntinas.
Yeah, we would have been Buntinas, Mike and I, but he did me wrong.
So you're done.
So you're done, Mike. We could have been something happy together.
So crazy.
Camila. Hey, Camila, how are you?
Hey, girl.
Disengage? Oh, 100% disengaged.
Yeah.
I was actively listening. She's calling me out.
Who's this? Tell us.
Camila. Are you calling me out? So she says here, she's like 100% disengaged. I was actively listening to Maria. and I was too. I was just thinking about the Bluetooth at the same time. That's all.
Listen, I can tell when Miguel, I lose Miguel. He can still be looking at me, and I'm like, he's done. He's totally done.
She just confirmed. She's like, yes, I was calling you out.
In case you were wondering, this is exactly what I did.
Camila, you and I are divorced now as well.
Oh my gosh.
I'm just divorcing everybody today. Everybody that does me wrong. That's right. So
it's all your fault.
It's all I feel that you're wrong.
and I feel like you need to check your energy.
I feel that you need to check your energy. Pam Blender. I still have hopes for Pam. Let's see what she says. Hang on, ready? Camila's like hashtag Team Mike.
No. I told Mike that he's the people's husband because there's.
Oh, nice! The people's husband.
Listen,
I love it.
He's incredible. He helps out so many people.
Yeah.
Yeah,
except for me. But anyway, so let's see what Pam. I still have hopes for Pam. Ready? Here we go. Pam says, I haven't read her comment. She says, I think this conversation might hurt you as a bishop, as some members might think you need help more than. Well, there goes another one. Pam and I, divorced.
Pam is like, you should be mindful of what you say because of your calling at church.
She goes, just kidding. You two are entertaining, but Tegan understands. Oh, you're just good. Yeah. So I'm like, hey, man, anybody else want to get divorced today? just type in a chat. Just type a comment. Yeah. Let me know what your thoughts are. Oh, my gosh. This is...
Oh, my goodness. That's so funny.
2 for 2 podcast.
You're the one that keeps bringing it up. I'm just saying.
This is whatever. I got 2. The last one I want to get to. The last one's a really good one, but this one's a good one too. So acknowledging positive solutions. How would you use I statements in that case? Acknowledging positive solutions.
Okay. After we have this conversation that, listen, this is what's happened. This is how I felt. A positive solution would be like, I really want to work this out with you. Are you open to doing it together?
Oh, dang. That was good. That was good. I got to give credit to where credit is due. That was good. Camila, she says, Tegan is meant for Miguel and Mike is meant for Maria. You have no idea how true that statement is.
Oh, my gosh. We always talk about how, like, had we married anybody else, 100% we'd be divorced.
Oh my gosh. It was.
Had we married each other, it would have even been worse.
Done. It would have been public. Yeah.
A hot mess. It would have been so bad.
Oh my gosh. Let's see here. She goes, love you guys and this podcast. Thank you, Camila.
Oh, thanks,
look at her trying to suck up now, eh?
We love you, girl.
No, you. She made her choice. She made her bed. Now she has
Team
to sleep in
Maria.
it. Yeah.
There you go.
Team Maria and Team Mike. Whatever. So I hate to ask, but who's your favorite?
Are you sure you want to go down this path? Are you sure? I'm just saying your feelings might get hurt today.
That's for Maria. Cool. Thanks, Camila. Right?
Okay,
This last one. This is the one that I really wanted to get to.
Okay.
How to use I statements, and I think this is out of all of these case scenarios, I think this is going to be the most important, especially with what's going on in the world today.
Okay.
Using I statements to create boundaries.
That's a hard one.
It
I do
is.
have to say that's a hard one because we live in a society that at least this is the way that I feel. If you share what your beliefs are, what your values are, and if they contradict with what's the norm in society, that all of a sudden you're not for people, right? So I guess in a sense, the way that I would share it, I'd be to create boundaries.
Well, let's discuss what type of boundaries first, because there's many types of boundaries.
Yeah. So give me an example. What boundary am I creating?
So I remember when I was growing up in the youth program, I saw a video of a couple dating.
Yeah.
Right. It was so back in the day when I was a youth, they used to put out a lot, and they still do actually. They used to put a lot of videos out, but in VHS at that time. And one of the videos that I remember seeing was a girl starting to date at a young age, and she said that before she started dating with the guy, she set boundaries.
Yeah.
Because she did not want to take that relationship to a worldly level.
Okay, so this is the example that I'll give you, I guess. How do you set boundaries? Did you get one?
Oh, I got one. Hang on. Oh my gosh. I feel vindicated. Hang on one second.
Go ahead and read it.
Jonathan Cowell. He's my boy. Right? Jonathan Cowell, T. Miguel. He's just too pretty.
It went right to his heart. That you know how to get him.
He is anyways, I feel good now. See what one compliment does? One. I just wanted one. In the last two podcasts, I got one.
No, you got one last podcast too.
Yeah, when we went offline.
Yeah, you
it
went
wasn't-
offline.
Yeah, when we were off, oh, we do love you, Miguel. I was like, that's too late.
You're done.
You're done. We're divorced. You're gone. So, anyways.
Okay, so how do you create a boundary of what your expectations are with your child, let's say?
Yeah.
So in the sense, let's talk about dating, right? How do you create an expectation and a boundary with your teen? Does that make sense?
I just tell him, don't do it. I'm like, you live in my house, you eat my food, breathe my air. Don't do it. Like, you're out.
Yeah. I have so Raquel and I have a pretty good relationship. My daughter, she's turning 14 this coming year, right?
So I'm just joking, by the way. I'm not that much of a militant. There are certain things, before I get canceled here, hang on one second. There are certain things that are non-negotiable in the household, right? Yeah. But I try to give them free will 90% of the time of the choices that they make.
Well, of course, because as parents, all we can do is teach them, and then they go and they govern themselves, right?
This Sunday that just passed, something happened where I knew what the right choice was, but I had to give them the opportunity to choose. I'll explain it afterwards, but go ahead with Raquel. How much she's Tim Miguel.
Sorry?
You know Raquel's Tim Miguel, right?
Yeah, we'll ask her. She's dying to come on the podcast.
I know she is, but I'm very careful because I do want to interview her. Because I want to see if this is going to be an imbalance. It will be an imbalance. Because this already, as it is with people here.
Why don't you bring one of your kids, one of your boys?
They're not going to pick my side. Are you kidding me? That's a loser.
Okay,
I got to pick one of the kids that I'm mentoring at a school that would absolutely love me, that knows nothing about you. Then it would probably be a balanced podcast.
Like they would probably choose you.
Who? My kids?
Levi? Levi would. Levi would.
Levi's a crap disturber. He would choose you.
We should have him.
He is dying to come on the podcast.
We should have him and Raquel. We'll do a segment with our teens.
How well
do you know your parent?
How well do we know our kids?
Ooh, that's a good one. What do you guys think? Let us know. That's an idea for the next time. Anyway, okay, so getting back to boundaries, right?
Yeah.
How do you parent a child in a world that there's obviously other parents who have different values, different beliefs? Mm-hmm. So Raquel was telling me about a friend of hers who their parents are very open to her her having sex, and
Oh,
she's
nice.
15 turning 16.
Oh, nice.
So they're like, listen, yeah, I know, right? So she was telling me about her, and she's like, her parents are like, we don't care about you having sex. You're gonna do it anyway, so just do it at the house. But when you do it, make sure we're not home. Right?
I can't breathe.
Listen, and you know what? I kind of get it.
I can't judge.
But it's very different than you and I feel like, right?
Different parenting skills. I'm not saying which one's right, which one's wrong.
Listen, but I always tell my kids, different households, different rules, right?
Yeah.
But I've seen kind of this pattern I'm in a whole bunch of different mom groups, and sometimes moms are on there like, why even fight it? They're gonna have sex anyway. It's out there. It's normal. Kids are doing it nowadays. Just provide them the tools and whatever. I'm not of the mindset. I am of the mindset that I am teaching my kids, you wait until you're married. I want you to have the best ability to have a happy marriage, to have, like, sex just unites you in such a different way. And when you do it when you're so young, for a girl, totally emotional. For a guy, totally different, right?
Yeah.
But then it impacts your growth, right? In the way, like, your emotional development. Anyway, that's besides the point. Those are my views when it comes to it, right?
Yeah.
So when she was having this conversation with me, she was like, we were like talking about it. And so her and I have very open conversations with regards to that. She knows what values are important to, hey.
No,
See this guy?
The comments are coming in because of what you said. No.
With regards to sex?
Yeah. So
let's...
hang on. Before don't lose that thought.
Okay. I won't lose the thought. We'll discuss this.
Yeah. So Camila says we're both pretty. Camila, again, don't stop kissing up. Ready? Jonathan Cowell says championship for belt. Miguel podcast champ. Thank you, my boy. Peace out. But here's where it goes. What the actual heck? He says, hey, you're going to do drugs anyways. I'll leave them on the table. Just do it when I'm not in the room.
Right? It's the current, and I kid you not, it's not just this girl's like parents. It's not just one. It's sort of, I don't want to say the norm. I don't know what like the idea of what the norm is, but I've seen it so often pop up. And that's why I always tell parents, it is so important to discuss the values that you have with your kids. Yeah. If you don't want your kids having sex, that's not something that you value, you think they should be doing, have that conversation with them. Explain the why. Give them the ability to understand the reasons why. And then at the same time, although I counsel Raquel and tell her, I always say, hey, listen, you have the freedom to choose, because I can't be with you 24/7, right?
Yeah.
If she was going to do it, she literally could do it. But know that these are the consequences of actions like that. And also know that even if you do it, then I'm going to love you no matter what. I love you because you're my child.
Yeah.
I always do reassurance as well, because it doesn't matter. Like, I always tell my kids, I love my kids because they're my kids, right? At the end of the day, there's values that I have that I would love for my kids to have, but they have the freedom of choice. So.
Yeah. So here's what happened on Sunday. We had a Bishop Youth Fireside. So we always have Bishop Youth Firesides. You guys have them, right? Okay, sorry. My bad. Sorry.
I got to tell you a funny story about that after the podcast, though. But anyway, go on.
Okay.
Yes, we will have them this year.
Yeah. So we have them. And we do recognize that we take kids from their homes, right? Like because they have Bishop Youth Firesides are normally done at the bishop's homes, right?
Yep.
And so we're like, we don't want to, and it's normally done on a Sunday. So we're like,
I 100% believe that kids need opportunities like this.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's not about, sometimes we focus on having less activities, but I feel like with youth, they need more opportunities to engage.
Yeah. But at the same time, for me personally, I love meetings because I love being part of the solution, right? So I love being part of a council and stuff like that. But I also like Sundays are a time of rest and time for family. And so if you have way too many meetings and every Sunday there's a meeting, at what point do family comes first, right? And so I do recognize that
our December schedule is jam-packed. There's no family time.
Yeah. But anyways, I do recognize boundaries, right? Okay. And so for what we decided to do as a youth and what they did, and I put it forward, and then like they accepted, it's like every fifth Sunday.
Yeah.
So there are four fifth Sundays in the year. And so those fifth Sundays will do a Bishop Youth Fireside. Mm-hmm. So for the month of December, it was going to be the end of this month. It was like 30 or 31st or something like that. Like, I don't want to have one. You're with your family, so let's have one in the beginning, which we did. This had been in the books for months now.
Okay.
right? And Elias, and he was supposed to, he had been invited to go to his father-in-law's birthday party on Sunday, and it was also their 6 months anniversary. And so he comes up to me and he goes, Dad, I didn't know about this Bishop Youth Fireside. I'm like, time out. I'm like, time out. I'm like, first of all, we do ward youth councils all the time.
He's part of it, right?
You do ward youth councils
Yeah.
too, right? So we do ward youth councils every third Sunday of every month. We've been talking about this for the last 2 months. You were part of what we were going to do and the message, because the youth picked the message for Bishop Youth Firesides, right? And then we're just in charge of the activity. And so then you guys pick what the message is, who's going to be the speaker, all these different things. You knew about that. Whether or not you put it in your calendar,
Different story.
that's a different story. But don't come with this, BS like, oh, I didn't know about it. I just heard about it today, right? I go, so you have a now choice to make. I know what choice I would make, but I can't force you to do that. You can either don't go to the Bishop Youth Fireside, which you were a part of the committee, like the organizing, or you can go to your thing. Both answers are right. One of them is a feel good answer. One of them is your responsible answer, your duty. You choose. So that's all I said. I knew what the choice was, right? And so then I went, took a nap. 15 minutes later, came back and we're like, so have you decided? And goes, yeah. He goes, I'm just going to go. I'm going to say hi. I'm going to bring a present. I'm going to hang out for 2 hours. I'll skip the dinner and I'll just come back for the thing. I'm like, that's great. It's not something that I would have chosen. I would have just stay home. But it was important for him to see her, right? So then he went and he did whatever. But yeah, so I think it's important to give them choice. And then, but exactly what you say is like, let them know these are the consequences. Like, this is you were part of this decision making. If you choose this is what's going to happen. And we had all that conversation. That's what took place. And so, anyways.
Yeah.
So what was that thing that you're going to talk about? Or is it's outside of the podcast?
What was I saying?
Bishop Youth Fireside.
I forget.
You said something funny happened this month or this thing.
No, I can't remember, guys.
You can't leave me like this.
I can't. If I remember, I'll tell you, and then I'll tell you guys next week.
So Jonathan Kells, just because it's today's norm, I don't think justify it. Just because it's today's norm, I don't think it's justified.
Listen,
change with each generation, and children need to be children.
Yes,
I agree.
absolutely. Listen, that's why we had a training session with regards. So if you, some of you probably know, if you're new with us, you may not know, Miguel and I work with the youth in our church. So youth
What?
from what?
Who does?
You and I. I
No.
mean, you work with the youth in our church.
No, I don't. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do.
Such a punk.
Yeah, I do.
Anyway, so often we receive trainings from our leaders, right?
Yeah.
And we recently went through an incredible training. And one of the things that I took away from it is that I think I share it on the last podcast, because I've been telling everybody and their grandma about this, okay? Every time I get a chance to talk to the youth about it, every time to a parent, to a leader. And it's
We can do what they were doing?
What?
The two presidents? We're like, we can do that. That's...
And not that, but
yeah.
I do see us like in that capacity.
Oh my gosh!
And
the playful banter that was going, I loved seeing that from both of them.
You know what I love? So in this training, it was the young women's leader for the whole church in the whole wide world, and it was the young men's leader for the whole wide church, right? So we received training for them. But one of the things that I loved about them, and I feel so different that is happening this year, is that it's the youth program, right? It's like a joint effort, both young men and young women. The leaders are the same, as opposed to like young men, you do you, and then young women, like, we'll just do whatever. Like, it's not like that. We're supposed to be cohesive, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, long story short, the thing that I really liked that he said was the banana. Did you hear about the banana? He's like, so often we treat people as if they were bananas, right? Like a green banana, you're just waiting for it to be ripe, and then when it's ripe, you jump on it and they're ready, right?
Okay.
And he's like, we're not bananas. He's like, readiness comes through preparation. And I freaking loved it, because there's so many times that we're like, oh, they're not ready yet. Like, okay, like, I don't know, they're not ready yet. But have we taken the steps to prepare them for those things, right? And we can always start preparing them. Like for again, based on maturity, but you can start preparing them based on their maturity level at the time they're at. So they are equipped to make these decisions.
Something that he said, the leader, that I do it, and then I love that he did it because it solidifies what I've been doing, which I feel not. I don't want to say vindicated, but I know that some people have a hard time with the process that I take. It's anytime that I give somebody a calling, especially when it comes to the youth, I always express how about I went getting that revelation. I always tell them. I always take them to I call it their origin story.
I love that. That's so cool.
Always. It doesn't matter if it's with an adult or a youth. Be like, okay, this is what took place 5 months ago. This is what took place last month. I was on the stands and I was praying for someone to fulfill this calling, and you walked in, and as soon as I saw you, I felt this presence, and I'm like, this is the person that God sent. And I go, then I took this name, we took it to the bishopric, or as a bishopric, we prayed about it, we felt good. If the temple was open, I would have taken their name to the temple. And I go, and this is, now we're here. Now I'm extending this calling, right? And so I always take them through their origin story. So, because I need to let them know that their calling was called by God and not by me.
Yeah.
And so with what the president said is let them know how you picked them. Let them know what the process was, because it's important for them to see modern day revelation and modern day miracles.
Yeah. If you're not a member of our church we believe in modern day revelation. We believe that we have the ability to receive inspiration, and a lot of our callings or our volunteer positions are based on us receiving that feeling of who would be that best fit for that position.
Yeah.
I had a young woman, one of my young women that I called her. So we have presidencies within our young women's program. In my older presidency, when a young woman, she was like, oh, whatever, you just called me because I'm the bishop's daughter. And I was like, actually, no, let me tell you what happened.
Love
right.
it. Yeah.
And I'm like, you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
I need to do that more. I need to ensure that they know how it happens, because I kid you not, there is a process to it where you get a feeling.
Yeah.
And when you get that feeling, you see that person and you're like, this is the person. It's not based on whether or not you're friends. It's not based on sometimes you don't know anything about them. And then you've received that feeling like this is the person that needs to be.
I think this podcast or this topic what happened?
What?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, the headphones came out. Okay, so I think it is working. This died on me, but I think the one of the things that this podcast I think highlights is that the negatives, you make it about you, the positives, you make it about them.
Yeah.
And in any communication, right?
Mm-hmm.
So whatever situation that is, anytime that you are talking to somebody, because again, setting boundaries in the positive situations, stuff like that, anything that is positive, you're the most important thing. You're awesome. You're amazing. Listen, I can see that you're not in the right headspace. You
just had to slide it in there.
Did it work? Did it work? Didn't work, did it?
You had everybody until you slid that in there. You know, you're like,
No, but you know what? It actually, so here's my aha moment is that when I did speak with Tegan, I made the negative about her and the positive about me.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You're not in the right headspace.
Look at me.
I'm in what Pam said last week, right? It was like, I sound pompous. But based on last week's and this week's, yeah. So anytime that you're, whether it's a positive conversation or a negative conversation or like an argument, you want to highlight your negatives. I'm sorry. I can see that I've upset you. Those I statements. The positives, you want to highlight them. You know, you're amazing. You're awesome. I'm sorry I've upset you, and that's not something that I wanted to do for you. And I know that you just want resolution. You want resolution, which is the positive, right? Mm-hmm. And then hopefully that calms the fire down. And
I think it does. Walls come down because it just remember when you're super upset, but someone's listening to you and they're giving you the space to just get what you need out, and then they're like, okay, I can see why you would feel this way.
Yeah.
It like you relax instead of trying to continue at it.
And it does go back to the nail in the head.
I hate us.
No, because
that video is never gonna leave me.
The nail in the head, when he made it about understanding her, she felt better, even though she was in pain. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she did. It was that emotional release that it did help her to feel better.
See, it's always about the nail.
hate that stupid show. Anyway, if you're wondering about the nail, just go on YouTube, say it's all about the nail, and you will see this really dumb video
Oh yeah.
that Miguel loves.
Or you can just, we saw it last week, so you can just log on and see it last week.
Yeah.
And then you know, I set the camera different this time.
I know, you made yourself look better.
No, I made the elbow not show up.
Okay.
Look, I can sit like this, and you can't see an elbow.
Flap that wing. Send us out flapping your wing. Flap your chicken wing.
So if you don't know what the elbow,
Show them.
no, I'm not showing them.
Okay, go like 3-4 podcasts ago and then see this abnormality that Miguel has on his elbow that we recently found out. It destroyed him.
It did destroy me.
I mean, it's been hard for you. The month of November, you found out about your abnormality. This whole thing with check your energy. You're not in the right headspace.
And then all of these comments, these canceled people that I will cancel out of my life, right?
It's been hard.
It's a hard knock life for Coach Martinez this year. This
He's
month.
no longer the people's coach.
I used to be known as the people's coach. I'm just like the bald guy.
He's someone's coach. I don't know who.
That's alrighty.
That's it. That's it from us.
That is
I hope you followed our train of thought. I feel like we may have jumped around, but like you said, it was
Oh,
all about
I think we were on par,
communication.
dude.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think we were totally on par. For me, at least, this was very therapeutic, and I'm reanalyzing every conversation that we're having. When we all go out, you, Mike, and Tay, I'm just gonna stay quiet. I'm not gonna say
No,
anything.
you can.
Oh, 100%.
Oh, how about we do this? How about you just be you, and then I'll have a notepad, and we're done. We'll discuss on air what happened. Content. It's all about the content, right?
I will not be doing that. I will not. What I was thinking is about recording it and then just showing, seeing where I went wrong. But anyways, like, share, subscribe to all of our podcasts or all of our social medias. We love you. Thank you so much, and thank you for coming.
Get a minute, don't know. Get a minute of your time. Get a minute of your. Let it. I sure gotta live right, and I'm never gonna let you out of my side. I've been knocked out, was a nice try, but I guess I get to keep my head on this time. Part of the creation, the relations I've got, the only one that keeps me safe, the only one you should trust. For sure, it ain't right that I have checked the speck of dust from all of its sides. Fall down, that from my height, cause I didn't see the plank I have in my eye. You in yourself when no one's to be found. What keeps you eased out? What takes you off your mind?
Guess you want this, I want this. Everybody in this, we should have it. Stop illusions, it's in your hands. Show yourself, reveal it to them. Take the time to recognize it.